Peace and blessings and namaste to all light warriors, workers, and everything in between. It is I, Sophie, today with a very quick transmission for you guys. You have heard it written, in all thy getting, get understanding. But why is understanding so very, very important in our everyday lives, in our everyday walks? I'm going to share that with you today. So, knowledge is beautiful because having knowledge gives you the information behind what scenario or a situation that may exist. Okay? So knowledge is the ability to extract information. Now, wisdom is the ability to apply the knowledge to a scenario. Okay? So when we're dealing with wisdom, we are dealing with knowledge applied. But when you get to the principles of understanding, the principles of understanding deals with the why it even exists in the first place. Okay? The principles of understanding is the law of comprehension. And once you have the ability to comprehend a matter, then it prevents you from making the same mistakes over and over and over and over again. Knowledge and wisdom can only get you but so far. But if you don't have the understanding, the comprehension behind it, you're going to find that it's going to be very difficult for you to continually grow. So there was a popular meme that I ran across maybe some years ago. Okay. And I think I found it on Facebook. I'm not 100% sure. But it said, knowledge lets you know that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom tells you that that tomato doesn't belong in a fruit salad. Then understanding must surely occur after you taste it. All right? You get where I'm going with this? When we look at the principles of knowledge, we are getting the information of the matter. So the knowledge we can assume or say is the what. All right? When we're dealing with the principles of wisdom, wisdom is the application to the knowledge. So we're dealing with, I would say, the how. Okay? How. But when you're dealing with understanding, understanding surely covers the whys of the situation. So during your everyday journeys, when you're coming across situations or things that are not really working in your favor, or you're finding yourself repeating toxic cycles, or making the same mistakes over and over again, or even if you're in stagnant energy, like you feel like you're just not moving anywhere, you're just kind of standing still, you need to ask those three things. Okay, you need to inquire of them: the what, okay, the hows, and the whys. Why am I like this? Okay, why am I stagnant? Okay, then we get to understand, where we really are in our lives, and that's when we can really do the deep reflection. I tell you, if you're not judging yourself, okay, if you are not paying attention to your own behaviors, seeing the cycles that it puts you in, and not evolving from it, then I can almost guarantee you that it's because you're lacking the understanding. You might know something is false, okay? And you might make moves to get yourself or remove yourself from the false situation, all right? But if you don't understand how you even got to that place in the first place, then chances are later on in life, you're going to come across a similar scenario. Even though it might not be the exact same scenario, it can be a very similar scenario, and you'll end up falling for that trap too, because you didn't understand why the first scenario even existed in your life. When I deal with the principles of mental alchemy, what I am trying to get you to understand is to deal in that principle of understanding. Okay, in every matter, in everything that you do. So even the things that come across as negative serves a positive purpose in your life. Okay? Even the things that come across as a hindrance, a burden, When you get the principles of understanding behind it, then you'll, number one, you can do it in this threefold, okay? I got a burdensome situation. Oh my God. First, we want to identify what the situation is, okay? This is where we extract our knowledge. This is a burdensome situation, okay? Now, the wisdom is going to show you how you got yourself into it and what you need to do to get yourself, how to get yourself out of it, okay? How to grow from it, okay? But those two aren't just good enough on their own. You need to understand the reasoning behind why the burden even existed in the first place. Okay? How did you allow yourself to even get to this point where you're feeling overwhelmed and burdened? And that's where the deep, deep, deep soul reflections start to take place. Because even if you get yourself out of that burdensome situation without the understanding of why you got yourself into it, you are doomed to make a very similar mistake later on in the future. The principles of understanding is your ability to comprehend all matters, okay? Whether they are what you consider light or agreeable to you or disagreeable to you. It's when you get that principle of understanding that your mental alchemy really, really, really starts to take charge of the situation. If you can learn to process all things that happen in your life as a way of learning, as a way of growing, as a way of moving forward, you will see that it shortly becomes no negative things in your life. Everything just is. Do you understand? And I know that becomes a hard concept to grasp a little later on, especially when you're like, okay, you're going to tell me that, losing my job is a good thing. Yeah, it could be. It all depends on how you look at it. Okay? Losing my car and my house is a good thing. Absolutely. You may not be aware of what it is that you're heading into. You may not be aware of what's getting ready to happen to the economy. You might not be aware of what burdens could really happen in the future had you not been snatched out of that situation. So they always talk about hindsight being 20/20. You won't need hindsight if you have the principle of understanding. Hindsight only occurs when you are applying the wisdom, applying the knowledge, which is known as wisdom, but without the comprehension. In other words, it's just doing things because you're supposed to do it. Okay. Knowledge tells you 2 + 2 is 4. Okay. When you do operating in wisdom, that means that you have now applied that. So you know that anytime you see 2 + 2, you know that it's automatically 4. Okay. It becomes cellular memory. 2 + 2 is 4. Okay. But you get to the principles of understanding when you can physically see it. So if somebody hands you 2 oranges and then hands you 2 more oranges and now you count them, there are 4, you will never lose that principle again. So it won't matter if it's oranges, if it's apples, if it's carrots, if it's grapes. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what the understanding part does. Because if not, if you're just dealing with the basic principle of knowledge and we're dealing with oranges, once you master that, you might get choked up if it's celery sticks. All right? So, in all thy getting, get understanding. Understand why you are in positions that you are in. Understand why these positions even exist in your life, in your reality. Okay? Understand why they were manifested. Okay? Comprehend your life's journey. Comprehend your life's patterns. Rather it is something beautiful and glorious, or rather it is something toxic. It is up to you to value getting the principle of understanding, because once you get the principle of understanding, that is true wisdom. All right? Wisdom lets you know that you need the principle of understanding on your everyday journey. All right? That's all I have to say today. I am Sophie, and I love you all. Bye.